Hi everybody, welcome to our YouTube channel Fusion. My name's Tash
I'm Andy.
and we're going to be reading you some Reddit stories today. So if you want to know a little bit about ourselves, we have made a very small introductory video, so you can go back and watch that if you'd like. Anyway, let's get started. So our Reddit stories have a theme of relationships today. So our first story is from Am I the Arsehole? So anyway, this is Am I the Arsehole for taking advantage of my girlfriend? Well, it already sounds that way, but
Yep.
I'll start reading. So it's a throwaway account because he feels like he's going to get flamed. So my girlfriend and I have been together for 3 years. Since we started dating, we have a tradition of paying for each other for dinner for our birthdays. We don't have a limit on how much that meal will cost. My girlfriend doesn't drink. She's at most has a mocktail or sparkling water. I usually pay $100 to $150 for both of us for her birthday dinner. My birthday was 2 days ago and we went out. I drink, which my girlfriend doesn't like, and she thinks it's a waste of money. But it's my birthday and she agreed to pay for everything. I had 8 drinks and a steak and dessert at a steakhouse, which cost about $200. And with her $70 meal, it cost $320 with tips. She didn't say anything at the time, but last night blew up at me for drinking so much money and expected me to cover it. I defended myself because it was technically unlimited, and no, I wasn't drunk. I have a pretty high tolerance, so it's not fair I can't enjoy myself. She is pretty frugal, so she thinks it's a crazy amount, and I was an arsehole for leaving her with this high of a bill. We agreed we would pay for each other's meals and drinks, and it's not my fault she doesn't normally get more than 1 drink. And it's non-alcoholic, so it's cheaper. But she has been ignoring me and refusing to talk it out. If she's that upset, I'll reimburse her for my portion. But then that's the end of our tradition.
Yeah, it's very hard.
It is a very hard one.
There's a couple of things. It's obviously American. Steakhouse sort of gives that away.
And tips, whereas
tips
here in
here,
Australia,
tips sort of
not mandatory. It's up. You don't have to. It's no limit. It depends how much you feel like
you can
it is.
tip $5. You can tip $100.
So in here it's $310 with tips. I'm assuming it's all up $310. And the tips, it's all in one.
Little bit of a guess, but yes, I'm guessing that was the total price at the end of the night.
So to me, it doesn't seem like he is the arsehole, so to speak, because they did have a tradition. Obviously, from the get-go, they've put no limit on it. So they've decided that this is this. And she obviously went into it knowing he drank.
Yeah.
So, to me, it's a hard one.
Well, we both drink when
No.
certain occasions are up. Obviously, not all the time.
I'm a very slow drinker, so
you're a lot slower.
You would usually have a lot more than me, so not a lot more, but you know what I mean.
As I say, you make me sound like an alcoholic.
No, you usually have a bit more than me, but they seem like they've been together 3 years. I don't know if they're together, but if they are living together, if they are living together, well, with us, once we moved in together, we shared expenses, so
Pretty much, yeah, everything was 50-50.
I'm assuming they don't live together.
But forget all that. When it comes to birthdays, there's a possibility he spent that type of money on her before going out. Just
By sounds of it, not usually, but
not usually. But what sort of gifts may he be buying her?
well, that's it too.
It's a hard one. It's
to me,
there's a bit
they
of
made the tradition. She went by that tradition, so
she's agreed to it.
She's agreed to it. So
In the long run.
why is she so annoyed at him for it?
Yeah, in the long run, she's agreed to it. So arguing it's pretty hard. But I'm sure there's comments there.
Yes, and we might get to that now.
I reckon.
So the first comment I've come across is this person believes that he's the arsehole, but not for taking advantage of the situation. A deal is a deal. If this was a contract, you'd have caveats for anything off base. I assume you didn't, so you're not bound to honour what I would call an assumed agreement of fairness. But that's why you're the arsehole. Instead of dealing with the real issue here, and in brackets, apparently you have very different definitions of what an acceptable level of drinking is, close brackets, you push the envelope, not only by making her come along for your 8, seriously bro, 8 drinks, but making her pay for it. Passive aggressive AF. You did this spoiling for a fight and you got one. You're mad about being rained on your drinking, so you push back like this. You're the arsehole.
Yeah, to a degree.
Yeah, I get where they're coming from. I guess 8's a lot when she literally had 1 drink. To me, they done this tradition. She knew who was drinking. She knew he'd spend a lot more. But I would have put something in place at the start, whether it's, all right, I know you drink, I don't. How about we buy the meal on our birthdays, and you know, I can buy you 1 or 2 drinks, and then if you want any more drinks, then you
pay for them.
You pay for them.
Yep.
That's probably the way.
That'd be the better way to go.
That would have been the better way, but they didn't. They had an unlimited. That's why I don't think he's as such the asshole. Maybe he should have been more considerate and said, I know she doesn't drink, maybe I shouldn't drink as much. Or, like
I'll pay for some of them.
I'll pay for something. Yes, he said if she's that annoyed, I'll reimburse, but could have stipulated that at the very start.
You pay the bill at the end of the night, and then when we get home, I'll throw you the cash.
Yeah,
It's as simple as that.
Well, someone else comment back to the comment I just read. Yeah, dude has a tolerance where 8 drinks in one sitting isn't a big deal to him. But I guarantee the girlfriend is just watching this guy get hammered day in, day out at the expense of the relationship. Well, I reckon that's a bit too much of an assumption there. Just because he has 8 drinks when they go out does not mean he drinks day in, day out.
No, if he's drinking 8 drinks day in and day out, yes, then
that's one thing. But
that's becoming a problem.
But it does not state anything like that in the article.
No. Well, Reddit's like that too. You're not getting the full story. If she had her side on here, you wouldn't know. She could very well come up and say, well, he's drinking 8 drinks or even 5 drinks day in, day out, and it's becoming quite expensive. And not only that, as a lot of people know, that type of drinking can be a big problem in anyone's life. But if he's only having 8 drinks
and only
once
on
a
special
week,
occasions once a week.
Once a week or something,
There's
that's a different
nothing
story.
wrong with that. I think if she was going to be so annoyed with it, I think they needed to put something down at the very start.
Yeah.
So another comment. Tolerance aside, let's say it was iced tea. It's still hard to imagine putting down 8 in one sitting. How was he doing anything but drinking and peeing? Okay, you're the arsehole. You said you pay 100 to 150 for her birthday dinners, but expect her to not bat an eye paying over 300 for yours. Your part of the bill was about 3 times her part, so go to a cheaper place if you need to pound out 8 drinks to enjoy the experience, or let her treat you to a similar meal that you treat her, and ask for drinks 2 through 8 to be put on a separate tab that you'll pay for. Exactly. Yeah. And I think that's the case. Like, maybe they should stipulate an amount. And then they'll, but the biggest problem here is there's obviously no communication. 3 years in, and this is finally where's the communication? Why haven't they sat down and spoke before now?
Yeah, like a lot of stories that we've both read and we've seen on YouTube and all sorts of social media ourselves we've watched, communication is key in a relationship. If there's no communication, you end up with breakdowns. And I honestly think, if they ain't sat down for 2 hours having a meal and a couple of drinks, and he's had 8 in 2 to 3 hours, that's a lot.
It is.
It doesn't matter. Like here in Australia, our drinks, a normal can of bourbon or whiskey or whatever, are often 1.4 standard drinks. From what I've understood, in America, a drink like that is a stronger drink, and if he's having 8, that's
you'd want to have a very good tolerance.
It's more than what you or I would have if we had 8.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it is different, and if, like I said, if they ain't sat down for 2 to 3 drinks, That's a lot.
Yeah.
Sorry, 2 to 3 hours, and he had 8 drinks. That's like, if he's having one an hour, that's fine. But that does mean they're out for 8 hours.
Well, that's
I'm guessing they weren't out for 8 hours.
Me too.
If they weren't out at 6 or 7 o'clock, they were not going to be out until midnight.
Oh, they could be party animals. No one knows.
Well, what was their age? Did you have their age on there?
No, I don't think it did. They just said that they've been together for 3 years.
You'd think by 3 years you'd have a better understanding
That's what I mean,
of each
the
other. Like, it's
communication.
just,
Well, someone
not
else
to mention,
commented.
you'd know each other by then.
Well, that's
You
it.
have to.
Well, someone else commented. Here, 5 or more drinks is generally the definition of binge drinking.
Yeah.
So,
binge drinking is also
alright, this
throughout
might
the day
give us a
stuff.
bit of a thing. Someone commented to that. 5 or more standard drinks in a night is the definition. The vast majority of drinks in a public setting have more than one standard in them. For example, the average glass of red wine or a schooner of beer out is 1.6 standard drinks. So it depends what type of drink you drank.
Yeah, well, I mean, over here, a mid-strength beer is 1 standard drink. But a lot of people won't drink, that don't drink mid-strengths. It's 1.4.
Well, that's it. All right, well, one more comment here, and this might be a bit on our side because it's actually related to us. It's an Australian comment in here. So, as an Australian, yes. Wow.
It's like the Irish.
Yeah. As an Australian, I'm surprised to learn that 8 drinks is a lot. But I still say you're the arsehole because I feel he's taken advantage of the arrangement. He said he paid $100 to $150 for her birthday dinner. But how much of that was his own food or drinks? So he's paying $40 to $50 on her for her birthday dinner, and she's paying $200 on him for his birthday dinner. Doesn't pass the pub test.
No.
Well, I don't know what they mean by the pub test.
We'd have to Google that. I reckon pub test. I'm not 100% sure what that is, but I think it's pretty much, a 50-50 thing. So I think
shouting and
it's shouting.
My shout, your shout type thing.
Yeah, if you go out with 4 mates, you buy 4 drinks, and then there's 3 other people that are going to go and buy 4 drinks, and you can stay out all night, and you might buy 5 drinks yourself, but that means, you've had 20 drinks. Which is
probably a lot.
That's probably a bit too much anyway, but I think...
sadly enough, we've got... The OP has not commented back to this. Well, if he has, I haven't seen it. It was a while ago. It was 110 days ago, so he probably would have commented back by now. But it was deemed that he's the arsehole.
I think... I think he has...
After reading some of the comments, I get it. I think at the end of the day, he probably wouldn't have been deemed an arsehole if they sat down and bloody communicated.
Yeah, they needed to communicate. I think he did take advantage on the money side of it. So even if it was just food or drinking water.
I think they just need to sit down and...
It doesn't matter. He's still... If it's roughly 150 each time they go out, and he spent $310 or whatever, he's
70 on her and the rest on him.
It's still a lot of money.
So I think what they need to do is there's nothing to say they can't continue the tradition, but I think they need to put boundaries in place. Whether that's we just pay for each other's meals on our birthday and we buy our own drinks, or there's a set amount of drinks that can be brought and then you've got to buy the rest.
For all we know, 100 days ago, they sat down.
Oh, yeah.
And he might have given her $150 in cash.
We don't know because there's no update.
Or bought her a gift or something and said, I'm sorry for the other day.
Yeah. But
from now on, $200 max.
I think just
absolute max. If we get to the point where it's $200 plus including tips, that's cool. If we go over on the other person's, whoever it is has to make up for it one way or another.
Yes, just
go to the movies.
Yeah.
Buy a little gift. Cold hard cash. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, no. And I guess
work it out.
At the end of the day, all relationships, the only way they're going to last, and I think we've learnt that pretty good, is communication and talking. Because if you don't communicate, you don't talk, it is going to bottle up like this, and you are going to become pissed off.
Yeah, that's
So
exactly
obviously
right.
there has been no talking in this because she's obviously had this building up over because that's what
Well, she's not
6
replying.
birthdays really, isn't it?
Yeah, but she's not
You know?
replying. Not well
Yeah.
in this. She was not replying. She probably is now, one way or the other. Whether it be
Yeah, well that's it. Whether they're together or not, we'll
Yeah.
never know, I guess.
well,
but-
it was a throwaway account, wasn't it?
Yeah, because
So-
he knew he was going to get flamed for it. But
Oh yeah.
all right, well I think that's really all there is. He was deemed the arsehole.
And so is the
I think
arsehole.
I agree with that to a
Yeah.
degree. Yes, maybe she should have communicated. But anyway,
Yeah.
let's move on to the next. So our next story comes from Relationships Advice.
Always good.
Yes, these are. So, all right. So, why did my 26 female boyfriend, 27 male, say I'm only average attractive? So, my boyfriend and I just spent a wonderful weekend camping. And as we were just waking up on our last day, he unprompted said to be honest and don't take this the wrong way, but you're not Sydney Sweeney attractive. You're pretty, but like average girl pretty. And I know I'm supposed to focus on the you're pretty part, but why would anyone feel it's necessary to tell their partner out of the blue that they're kind of average? I already know that, but it hurts to hear it from my partner. And since he said, don't take this the wrong way, I feel like I am the unreasonable one for being upset. I don't really have a lot of people to talk to, so I figure I'd complain a little here.
I wish this was on Am I the Arsehole, because that's where it should be posted.
She wouldn't
Well,
be the arsehole,
No,
but he would.
exactly, because that's a fairly horrible thing to
Well,
say.
it is, because at the end of the day, he got with her,
Mm-hmm.
knowing what she looked like. Look, with me, personality counts more for me.
Yeah.
That I've always,
I've always
I
believed,
know I'm not the most attractive girl out there.
I've always believed in personality first. So, to me, he sounds like he's looking for. What do you call it? You got it in front of you.
Average attractive.
No, what do you?
Oh,
you
yeah,
choose-
Sydney Sweeney attractive.
I can't.
Well, if you wanted a Sydney Sweeney attractive,
Go look
don't
for
even
one.
ask me who that is. Why didn't he look for one? Or does he
'Cause-
know? He probably couldn't.
He wouldn't be able to get one, which means that he's not Chris Hemsworth looking. He's not.
Yeah.
He's not up there. So it's sort of.
He obviously took her looks and all, so why bring it up now?
Yeah.
Does it say how long they've been together for? No, I don't think so. But
Oh, look, they could have been
seriously,
together for weeks.
why
or,
bring it up? If
Yeah.
you thought it or not, that just, it hurts. And for her to say, because he said don't take it the wrong way, she feels like she shouldn't be offended because
sounds like she's-
why?
Yeah, she sounds like she's in the wrong. She's not.
No,
take
just
offense
because he
of it.
said, when people said don't take this the wrong way, they're trying to
Make themselves better.
make themselves look better, and because it's just like, in my opinion, you're an idiot. That's still going to be offensive, isn't it?
You're still saying someone's an idiot.
You're still offending someone. You're just
Yeah.
trying to
Sugarcoat it.
yeah, pretty much, and making it look like you're not the bad person. But at the end of the day, to
You
me,
are. You're the bad person. He's
you
the
obviously
bad person.
loved her enough to be with her, so why even bring it up?
Don't even bring it up.
Well, let's have a look at some comments, shall we?
Oh, God, here we go.
So, this one's actually quite hilarious. So, you know what? Tell him that he's not Henry Cavill handsome. Handsome, but like average handsome.
Well,
And
that's
Well,
one way of putting it,
that's
isn't
what,
it?
well, someone commented that exactly. No doubt there are approximately 300,000 movie stars and other professionally handsome men he ranks behind. Maybe you should start making a list of all of them for him. And someone commented that, yes, and do this word for word in the same random manner he brought it up. And then someone else said, I would do this too and then break up. I am going to be that guy today, lol, who suggests breakups over small things. I would break up with someone if they said this to me. I've been married 10 plus years and my wife and I would never ever say anything like this to each other, especially because I don't even think this way. Sydney Sweeney is a very pretty movie star, but like, it's not really a comparison to my wife for me. I also don't think about Sydney Sweeney like that at all, unless I'm watching a movie with her in it. So to me, it would be so bizarre and nasty if a partner said this. What kind of person is thinking about some random when we're out in nature for a weekend? Why are you not telling me about frogs and flowers, you horn dog, lol? And why do they think it's info to share? So rude. Why do they think it's a reasonable feeling even? And that, you know what, there is a lot of valid points in that. To me, movie stars and that, yeah, okay, they may have the hot bod and all the abs and tattoos, but that's not what I'm looking for.
No.
I like the personality, and to me, that makes a person hot.
Yeah,
that makes a person sexy.
Yeah.
That makes a person lovable.
It's completely different, and
It's completely different.
People like him.
That's superficial looking.
Yeah, they wish they could get someone like that.
You could be with the hottest person, but they could have the ugliest personality.
Exactly.
You know,
so he's. I wouldn't be surprised if something like this is being put onto
am I the devil, or even am I the asshole? But it's a bit like saying, oh, you know, okay, you're rich, but you're not super rich.
If I was her, I'd be saying, that's a red flag. Right there and then, that's a red flag. It's almost time to start thinking, I'm leaving, I'm going. And they may have been together for 5-10 years. And just not married or whatever. But if he's starting to say stuff like that, it's time to start thinking where to go next. Because he's obviously thinking about other women in general that just, they might look better, doesn't mean they are better, but they might look better. And if he's thinking that, if you got married to him and all that sort of stuff, how do you know he's not going to be one of those people that could end up cheating because he does find someone that supposedly looks better?
Well, we've got some actually, another comment, actually. And his Shalong isn't porn star size, but it does the job okay. It's a bit the same, isn't it?
Yeah.
But, like, seriously.
Yeah, I suppose that's a valid point too.
You know? Someone said, the boyfriend is a jackass. I like this suggested comeback. No offense, but I doubt he is God's gift to women.
That's exactly right.
I don't think anyone's God's gift, or even, you know, to women, or, you know.
Other way around. Doesn't matter which way.
The other way around. You know, nobody's perfect.
No. Everyone's got their problems and mistakes or whatever you want to call them.
Personalities and good traits, bad traits.
Yeah.
You get with a person because of what you see in them.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, he obviously loved her at the start.
There is people out there that think they are perfect, but they're not perfect.
Nah.
They've always got their flaws, and a lot of the time, people around them, even if you're friends with them, you can see their flaws. But if you're friends, you just
has flaws.
Exactly, and you disregard it. But when it comes to this type of relationship, if he's saying stuff like that, it's not just, it's a basic flaw. It's a red flag to say, let some other woman deal with that, and I'll go find someone else.
You know what I probably would have done? I would have dumped him there and there, would have jumped in at his car, unless it was your car, left him there and drove off and made him find his way home.
That might be a little bit harsh, but yeah,
well,
I know where you're coming from, but it is, it's almost...
Yeah. It's
especially if they were
out. It's a red flag.
If they were out at a restaurant or whatever, if it was me, I probably would have said, enjoy the rest of your life, and I probably would have just walked out.
And do you know what? If you thought that way, you didn't have to express it.
No.
Just leave it.
Just leave it. And when you go to bed and wake up in the morning going, why did I even think that? And I hope he woke up in the morning
and regretted it,
thinking it and going, why the hell did I say that? Because if he's got any form of intelligence, he would know that was a mistake. Then and there. It would have come to his head. But apparently, not. Not that we know of anyway. I mean, and like we've both read, there is so much information people put up on Reddit, and you only get in a certain part. She may have already said something to him, for all we know.
And
In which case, that might have made him argumentative and said something like that. But I'm guessing, just by what we know, he said that and she's gone, what?
Well, the way she's reacted to it in here makes you wonder if he said things like that in the past. Which would mean it is a form of emotional abuse. Is he trying to, drag her down to the point that she thinks that...
She's a nobody.
She's a nobody. She wouldn't be able to find any better. She wouldn't leave him. It is a form of emotional abuse.
Yes, it is. It's psychological abuse to... Is it make her feel worse and worse and worse, where she's going to get to the point where, oh, if I lose him, I'll never get anybody else. And if that's the case,
it could
she's
be
probably
just a
wrong.
one comment thing, but it makes you wonder the way she reacted to it in this.
How many times has he said that? He may have said it so many times that she's...
What'd she say again? Don't take this the wrong way. So because he said that, she believed that she shouldn't have been offended. So it does make you wonder.
Yeah, I think... and I've said it a couple of times, it's a red flag. She should probably just say, no more, see you later. Yeah. That'd be what I'd do personally. I'd just say, if you're going to start saying stuff like me, or you've already been saying it, but like if it's multiple times, but you're going to start saying that sort of stuff, you got two options. Stop and leave it there, or it's over. As simple as that.
It is, because... you deserve to be loved and happy in a relationship. That's why you're in a relationship.
Yeah. People will probably write in the comments, oh, I'd just leave him. And you know what? I 100% agree. I'd just leave him.
I've never heard this word before. And someone down here, sorry guys, I had it before. They said, I've never heard this word before. This is called negging. And only really shitty people do it. My boyfriend is shitty, is what I'm saying. And someone commented that negging is a form of emotional manipulation that involves making backhand compliments or other flirtatious remarks to undermine someone's confidence. The goal is to make the person feel like they need the manipulator's approval. Negging can be subtle and happen to anyone, and it can have a variety of purposes. For example, it can be used to start a conversation, get someone's attention, or exert control over them. Over time, negging can be very damaging to the person on the receiving end. I've never heard that before.
I haven't heard the
guessing
word.
it's kind of like emotional abuse, because I've never heard negging before.
That's why I said psychological abuse, and that's what I was saying. And by going by this, that's what he's doing. It's psychological abuse by saying, you need me. So I'm going to put you down to the point where you think you need me. Whereas
and nobody else would.
Everyone on this, by the sounds of it, is saying,
leave him.
And
run as far as you can. Run for the hills.
Hopefully she did. Hopefully she did say, you know what? I know everyone on Reddit and on the internet is a stranger, unless you physically know. So you go...
Okay, let's go back to it. Maybe it was just something that was in his head and it was a one-off thing. And if it is a one-off thing, so hopefully he'll apologise. Hopefully they sorted things out. Yeah. But I just, because of the way she said she shouldn't have been offended, makes me wonder. Yeah. Anyway, I guess there's not much more...
There's not much more we can say about this. There's no updates or anything. So
just hope that she is...
happy and safe. Yeah, happy and safe now. And maybe, how long ago was it?
It was only a day ago, so there might be updates down the track, and I guess if we do see an update,
if we do see an update,
come back and let you know.
Yeah.
We'll make sure we keep it, but
yeah.
All right, on to our next story.
Yeah, I reckon. We'll go to the next story.
This one's from Off My Chest.
Good one.
So I told my wife something unforgivable, and I don't know how to take it back.
You can't.
Well, it depends what it is. Alright.
But it's hard.
So, I know I'm the shitty one here. Well, he's already admitted that. So, alright, let's go. I came on here to ask people for advice. I can't tell my friends or anyone close to me, so I just need help from unbiased individuals. What basically happened was that my 35 male, and my wife 34 female got into a heated argument. She wanted to go out with her friends to a club, and I really do not like when she goes out to such places, as she exposes herself to disgusting men who are there only for one thing. And I don't want anyone to look at my wife that way. I've been very clear that I absolutely hate when she goes to clubs, no matter who she goes with. 2 days ago, she told me she was going out with her friends and started putting on her dress and getting ready. But when I saw her outfit, it looked a lot like something she would wear to a club. So I asked her where she was going. She started huffing and puffing and telling me to get off her back. I kept pushing and she finally told me she was going to a club, and the argument started. We were saying lots of things to each other that wasn't very nice, but at some point she said, "Be happy I married you because I'm the only one that was able to take your bullshit." Well, BS. And I responded with, actually, you are right. The women I actually wanted to marry left me, so I settled to be miserable, but at least have a partner." Okay. Anyway, after I said this, she didn't have to tell me how deeply I screwed up. I already knew. She packed all her stuff and our baby and went to her parents. I've been calling and texting and she's not answering me. I know I screwed up. Please help me. Women who go to clubs are disgusting and I don't want my wife to look like that. But she doesn't seem to understand. The only thing I know I really messed up in was telling her what I told her. Well, yeah.
Okay. I don't know where he gets women that go to the clubs are disgusting. I do know some of them are a bit out there.
But some just like a bit of socialising with their friends.
That's exactly right. But I know, well, I don't personally know, but I know from TV shows, movies, whatever, blokes can just be horrible people because they don't find anything in their own age group, or, I mean, which isn't a big problem. If you're 10, 15 years apart and it works for you, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you are 50 years old going to clubs looking for 20-year-olds, it's a struggle. But I've been down to the club and there was a bloke
Doesn't mean every guy's there to pick up.
He was about 55, but he was happy just being out on the dance floor and having a good time. Because he may very well be divorced and just gone, you know what, I don't care anymore, I'm just going to go down there, have a couple of drinks and have a good time.
Yeah, that's it. Doesn't mean he wants to hook up with. Yeah,
In her case,
maybe she shouldn't have said what she said to begin with.
Maybe.
But the comeback...
I think they're both in the wrong.
That tells you something. Because he said, what did he say? That everyone he wanted to marry didn't want him, so he settled to be miserable. Does that tell you something? Everyone he wanted to marry didn't want to be with him.
He's gone with whatever he could.
So...
He's gone with the best he could possibly get out of it. He could have had a lineup of 10 and he's gone with
why'd they all
1.
leave him? Is there something there that made them be like,
I
don't want you?
He's a dominating person.
Is he... Yeah, well, that makes you wonder because...
Well, that's my personal opinion. He's dominating. He wants... Okay, we can get together.
It's not like she's gone there on her own.
No, that's right. But from now on, that we're together, you can't go clubbing with your best friends. If you go out with your friends and in-laws who I know go clubbing and you decide to go with them, I've got nothing against that.
You know, we're together and we stick together and we're safe and we keep
usually,
in contact, and it's not because you're dominant and want to know everywhere I am. No. Sometimes it's me messaging you. I like to... You know, well, we do have kids at home too, so I make sure
I'm watching a movie and I get text messages from you and go, would you go away, please, for 5 minutes? So,
go have fun,
in this case...
you know?
Exactly, go have fun. In this case, it sounds to me like he's just been... is it dominatrix or whatever that word is? I can't think of it now. But he's dominating the relationship. He doesn't want her to have fun.
It's not like she's going out on her own and she's vulnerable and by herself. She is with a group of people.
Different. That is different because men...
Who can help be there for each other.
Men will take advantage if they see one single woman.
He even says he doesn't care who she goes with.
Yeah.
You know?
So
he just doesn't like other guys looking at her. Like, look...
What's wrong with that?
Yeah, as long as they don't do anything about it.
I've heard...
Or if they do try, she puts them down straight away. No, sorry, I'm in a relationship.
I've got a ring on my finger, mate. Go away.
Trust.
It's as simple as that. It all comes down to trust. And he doesn't trust her.
That's what it seems like.
It sounds like to me. He doesn't trust her.
Well, before I get to the comments, it actually is... He has put an edit in, so
here we go,
let's see what he has to say. So everyone is talking about divorce.
That's a strong...
That's what I'd be
yeah,
talking
that's-
about too, unfortunately, because
yeah,
of the
that's-
way he is. But anyway, everyone is talking about divorce. No one is getting divorced. I know some of you think that marriage is a simple paper you sign, but it's not that simple to get divorced in my culture. Also, why it's a bad thing to want my wife to respect herself. Clubs are just dancing with friends for a woman. But for the strange men there, they go there to pick up women. Well, not all men, but okay. It's not because I don't trust her. Well, it looks...
Sounds to me like you don't trust her.
Anyway, I don't trust the environment she's in. What if a man drugs her? What if he does worse?
Understood.
Most of these things happen in clubs. And when a woman exposes herself to being sexualized and goes to places where men are out to get them, yes, I find that disgusting. But that's the thing. I've been out to clubs for. I don't go out much. We've got a family, you know. Every now and then, my best friend and that might say, you know, and you'll find to look after the kids. But I don't go out there and cake the makeup on and put the skimpiest dresses on. I don't go out there to impress. I go out there to have a good time. So no, not every woman goes to a club to sexualize themselves. That is actually a very what's that word?
Probably, it's very sexist almost.
It's very, I can't even think of the word. Pretty much, judging pretty much everyone
Society.
on the same, like all women do the same thing. Like
It's society. It's judging society of how
how
a lot of people
you
think
believe, you obviously believe all women are like that by the sounds of it, because not all women go out to sexualize themselves.
So-
they go out to have a good time. They go out to dance.
What would happen if he did get a divorce and he got married to someone else who wants to do the same thing, but he didn't know that at the start? He's going to have the exact same problem,
Well, that's it.
which means it's not the girls, it's him.
There we go. That's the word. He's stereotyping them. All women sexualize themselves.
No, they don't.
Sorry, guys. It took me a while to figure that one out. But, yeah, that's...
But stereotypical stuff, it doesn't matter whether it be racist, sexist, or anything else.
Judging the...
You're judging your wife from what you see on TV. That's completely inappropriate, unless you know for a fact because you went down to the club after her and saw her doing that sort of stuff.
Well, that's it.
Or you saw her videos of her on social media or something.
And it's obviously not the
nothing.
case. He just believes this. It does not
Yeah.
state anything
But-
else.
He did also state in his culture. Now, where is he from?
So,
What's
and,
his
you know,
religion? There's a lot of
what's
things in it.
that can come into it
Yep.
because there is different...
She could be from one religion, so to speak, and he's from a completely different one.
which
that have
can
different,
make things hard.
different beliefs.
Hmm.
And that's one of the things I try to stay away from is religions, just like politics. And you go, well, this is very hard. Like our religion, not that, I'll be honest, I'm not a religious person, but from what is technically our religion and people from overseas, their religion, I respect their religion. That's fine. That's their choice. But in this case, either he's not respecting hers, which is what it sounds like, or she's still, and this is going to sound wrong, but she's kind of not respecting his. He's saying, would you, because he could, in the long run, be saying, could you kindly not do that because I do not believe in that. It's against,
He has told her in the past,
it's,
but...
it's, in my religion, it is not, once you're married, you don't go out and go clubbing or anything like
But
that.
that's something that should have been
Whereas-
stated.
Yes,
from the
he
beginning.
should have stated that in.
And maybe he did, and she's still not respecting it.
He also, she also, if he had said that early in a relationship, she could go, well, I'm not going to deal with that. You know, because my belief is, yes, once I get married, I can still go out with my friends and my family members, sisters, whatever, and do that type of stuff, and I shouldn't have a husband nagging me or trying to convince me not to do it. Because,
Alright.
yes, we all see it on social media, TV, doesn't matter how you see it, you see this sort of stuff, it can be on the news, somebody got, caught up in an unfortunate accident, and it works both ways. a male can get a female, a female can get a male, but completely inappropriate with drugs and stuff. I understand where he's coming from.
There are steps you can take. Keep your drink with you the whole time.
Yeah, keep your drink with you. Keep your best friends with
yeah,
you.
so there
all that sort of
is
stuff.
ways
You just got to be careful.
All right,
So yeah, it's a bit hard.
We'll read some comments before we have a little bit more of a discussion.
Yep.
So, first one, you can't and shouldn't control her on her actions. You must trust that she won't cheat on you there, and that's it. Or ask if you can go with her sometimes. Well, I was thinking that, I just didn't say it. Go with her. I know he doesn't like her, but if he doesn't trust her or is scared, go with her. Anyway, you can't make her do things. She is free, and in her freedom, choices are made. It's up to you to put up with it or not. You made your feelings known, and if she doesn't care, you're free to walk away too.
Yeah.
You def screw up big time. It's up to her if it ends or not. All I know is that if someone said that to me, I would have been gone for good. I guess all you can do is think about if what you said is true first. If not, try to explain why you said such a lie. And if it's true, well, you shouldn't be together in the first place. That's true. Yeah. I'm assuming he made a comeback from what she said to him to hurt her. Whether it's true or not, which it probably isn't, he was just trying to hurt her in the moment.
I think that's a high possibility, hurt her in the moment, but I also think that not being together in the first place is maybe a stretch because they both knew what they were getting into when it comes to beliefs, religions, whatever. And but they need to get back together and probably work these little things out.
Communicate. I've said that before in a previous post. Communication is key in this case.
It always is.
In a lot of relationships.
As I said, when it comes down to religions of any types, if my religion was divorce is against the rules and yours isn't, that's when you would say, well, probably a no, just in case something happens. And that's what it comes down to. And in his case, he got with her, and he's like, divorce is not an option, basically, is what he said. And it's like, but that's your belief, that's your religion, or I don't know, because beliefs and religions can be slightly different.
Yes, at the end of the day, this is what they need to discuss before they got together. If they had different beliefs.
It is a discussion. They have to sit down at a round table and have a discussion.
If someone wants to divorce and the other doesn't, well, the one that doesn't ain't going to be able to stop the one that does.
Nope. All they have to do is go to a courtroom and get it organised. Well, and that's the end of the story.
Alright, so another one. Your belief about clubbing show a lot about you and the way that you look at women. Exactly what we were saying. The fact that you would try and control her and then lash out so viciously shows even more about the way you see your wife. If you're lucky enough for her to come back, then you're going to have to seriously reevaluate the way you treat your wife. And then someone comments, 100%, this guy is a ball of misogyny. Hope she stays gone. Then someone ripped, I was just about to say something similar. He's doing an awful lot of projections about other men and how they think. I definitely think he is one of those men that sexualize all women and would go to a club to drug them. Or, okay, this is a bit harsh. Or worse, as he puts it. I do not understand how his wife could put up with his demanding attitude. I guess he also doesn't understand that predators don't give a what you look like, how you dress, or that they don't only lurk in clubs, or maybe he thinks they do because that's what he believes. Drugs. Sorry, guys. I shouldn't imply OP is a predator, but he gives off creepy vibes with how adamant he is that the only reason men go to clubs is to prey on women. How would this idea get into his head unless he's been to a club himself?
You know what's funny?
You know what? Yep. Why would he think that unless possibly he's done it or he's seen it done?
I was just going to say, the funny thing is, like, before we were married and that, and we used to go out clubbing, so what?
No, before
she was born, she's 7, so say 8 years ago, maybe a bit over. When we used to go clubbing, I used to go out with you girls, and I didn't just go out because I wanted to, it was also to help protect you girls in case something did happen. He sounds almost the opposite.
Like yours.
He doesn't go there, but yet if he went there, you ask yourself,
Does he?
what would he
realise
do? You know,
I know a lot of the time you did come just to be
I'd
there
have
with
to sit
us.
down and have a drink and
You'd
talk.
like having a drink
Yeah.
and talk and, you know, all
that
that
sort of stuff, but in the
it-
long
it
run-
wasn't your cup of tea. But
No.
you've done it for me. Like, the clubbing scene does nothing to me now. But
Yeah,
sometimes...
5-6 years ago, it was a different story too.
And sometimes you just like, you go and you still trusted me. You knew we were going to be
I would
safe.
today.
There's security guards were there for a reason too.
Yeah.
You know?
That's
so,
their job.
yeah, anyway.
How old were they? Was there an age on that?
Actually, no.
No age.
Oh,
See-
yes, sorry, there was. She was 34, he was 35.
See, they're in their mid-30s.
You know, only 2 years younger than, 3 years younger than us.
Oh, in their mid-30s, you'd seriously think they'd have some form of...
They obviously don't have kids or anything like that by the sounds of it.
Didn't she take the daughter?
Oh, yes, sorry.
She took the
sorry,
daughter,
my
so
bad. She took the
She's-
baby. They've got a
Instead
baby.
of going clubbing, she's taking the daughter. But is the daughter 5 or 6 years old?
It says baby.
Baby. So it could be
So-
maybe 3. So
No,
at
probably
the
less than
latest-
that.
at the
One-
latest,
one or
3.
less, baby.
One or less, most
Yeah.
likely. But yeah, but some people are baby 3-year-old. Yeah, but besides the point. So you go, okay, so she's decided, you know what, I'm not going clubbing tonight. I'm going to grab the kid and some clothes and go to the mother's place.
Yeah, I think so. Her
And you
parents.
go, well, that might have been the best move she's made, and she's ignored the phone calls
After
and the
what
text
he
messages.
said to
Yeah,
her.
after that, she's sitting down with the mother having a conversation, and the mother may very well be saying, "Stay away from him," or next time you see him, make sure you haven't got the daughter with you because God knows. But
Okay.
that's a lot of speculation in that.
Before it is, but
there's
before
a lot of speculation.
Before we close it off, at the end of the day, I believe that they need to work out what they're going to. They've obviously got a kid involved. They need to sit down.
Yep.
They need to communicate and decide if it's best for them to separate or stay together. But if he's going to keep going down this path, then I don't think it's worth them staying
I wouldn't
together.
want to be with someone that's going to keep saying you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this.
You need
go,
trust.
hang
He
on.
reckons he trusts her, but I don't believe he does.
Well, okay, there's 2 ways of looking at this story, and this is what makes it so hard to judge, is maybe he, to, you know, a certain degree, he does trust her, but he seems to not trust the people around
Well, that's
her.
what he does say in here. Oh, maybe, yes, okay, sorry, he doesn't trust the men, but yeah, maybe he doesn't trust, but it does state in here, he doesn't care who she goes with, he still doesn't like her doing it, so
Yeah.
she could go with anyone and he still doesn't
Still not
like it.
So what if she goes with him? Is he not gonna like it? Let's look at it that way. Either way, that makes me think even more that in the long run, he is not going to trust just her going out in general.
Yeah.
She could, and that goes well. So if she goes to her friend's place to have a couple of quiet drinks, is he going to trust her with that? So
You know,
I think
I was about to finish it off, but I just come across a couple of funny
yeah,
comments.
yeah.
Not big comments, just funny ones. You don't deserve advice on how to keep her. She's better off without you.
Yep.
And then you don't deserve advice, and women who go to clubs are not disgusting. You're just sexist and insecure. Insecure.
Yeah, that's what I said. He's very sexist.
Yeah.
I didn't say insecure, but he's
Yeah.
very sexist. He's
And the last one, I'll just read one more comment before we close it off. You demonstrate a pattern of controlling behavior and judgmentalism. That makes me wonder if you subscribe to a fundamentalist religion. Women are people, not possessions. You don't get to control her outfit, fits, or behavior, and you don't settle for them like a tech gadget that isn't upgraded. You honor them for who they are, and you honor the commitments you made to them. If you can't do that, let her go.
Yeah, we're not in the early 20th century here where, well,
Therefore, them putting it
shouldn't,
in the kitchen type thing.
I shouldn't, yeah, you got to be careful how you say it, but even in the 1950s and stuff, and usually back then, a lot of women were happy to stay at home, do the housework, look after the kids, make sure, and Dad went to work from God knows what time to what time.
Yeah.
And brought home the money and that. And obviously, we won't go into the realm of what money is like these days to back then, but it was a bit different. And that's how it worked. Whereas Now it's a completely different story, and like I said, we won't go into that. But to me, he sounds like he's living in the past, and that's someone, and hopefully for his future's sake, he's got a friend that can pull him out of where he is right now. I don't know how old this is, but if it's fairly young, someone needs to help him get out of that little stuck spot because.
Sorry.
How old is it? How
34,
old?
we said before. He's 34 and she's
I don't know
34.
how old's the post.
Oh, damn it, 16 hours.
So 16 hours old.
Well,
so it's not very old.
No. Well,
so it's still, doesn't matter which way you look, it's July 2024. So everyone now knows where we're up to.
I keep coming across some pretty cool comments. So, women who go to clubs are disgusting, question mark. I don't even like clubs, but I find you disgusting.
Yep.
And then this one, first of all, change your opinion about clubs. Women who go to clubs are not disgusting, and frankly, no matter what your wife is wearing or where she is, men are going to look at her. Women have been attacked in ratty t-shirts, in work uniforms, in sleep clothes, in skimpy, revealing clothes, in hoodies, at home, at work, in alleyways, at friends' houses, by partners, by strangers. Men are going to be men no matter who we are or what we're wearing. That said, the answer to that is not to control or to insult your wife. You can apologise and change your behaviour, and that's really all you can do. But if I were her, I wouldn't be coming back. You surely don't deserve it. And I don't think this poster was meaning all men. It was meaning the disgusting men.
Yeah,
if
that person
a disgusting man's going to be a disgusting man, th're going to do it.
Doesn't matter where it is. Yeah, it doesn't matter where it is. It can be in an alleyway.
People breaking into someone's house and where they are meant to be safe.
As I was saying, it could be in an alleyway. It could be out in the middle of a very busy street. Those types of people are going to do it when they see an opportunity.
Well,
he may just be straight out scared that at a club is more likely to see an opportunity.
You know, it's probably less likely.
But if they were walking to a club, I'd be more scared about the walk. I'd rather drive them there, and then when they ring me and say, "Oh, can you pick us up?"
Yep.
Go and pick them up, because at least you know they're going to get there and get home safe.
Anyway,
But yeah,
I think we've had enough on this one.
No updates or anything?
No, other than the one I read, the edit,
wasn't it?
Yeah, that was an edit. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I hope she doesn't go back to him. But if she does, they need to sit down and talk. But that's all we can really say, isn't it?
I think they need
help,
friends, family, and maybe even go and see a psychologist just to get a little bit of help. They need them. It doesn't need to be anything big. They just need a little bit of help.
Alright, let's get on to the next one. So this one's from Am I the Arsehole Relationships. Okay. So, am I the arsehole? 21 female detests my 22 male boyfriend because of his hygiene habits.
Probably. Depending.
Yeah. So, my partner and I have been together for almost 2 years. He's sweet, caring, giving, all I can ever ask for. But his hygiene habits are really getting to me. He's the type to take off his underwear and leave it next to the laundry basket instead of just putting it inside.
That sucks.
After he's done showering, he leaves the bathroom a wet mess. The bath mat is all soaked, and in brackets, I prefer to leave your towel hanging nearby so you can dry yourself inside, then come out. Close brackets. There's water splashed everywhere, on the toilet seats, mirror, floor.
Sounds like our kids.
Yeah, well... But I don't think he's a kid.
No.
He's still young. He gets into bed with dirty clothes on, leaves his stinky socks anywhere close enough. He picks his nose in public. Okay.
Hey.
Hawk spits extremely loud in public. He's messy and I have to beg him to brush his teeth. He leaves the toilet seat up and leaves pee drops on the floor, which makes the bathroom smell like pee.
Yep.
He leaves food out to rot his room like, what the He's been trying to get better at it, but I'm starting to feel like his mother, and I hate that. We don't live together, yet sometimes he stays over at my place and sometimes I stay over his. But concerns me because I plan to live together one day and I see us getting into many fights if he continues like this. Is it me? Are all men like this? How do I handle this difference in hygiene habits without being annoying or pushy?
Oh, that's so hard.
It is, isn't it?
Oh, if he's still making messes like a 5-year-old and just not putting clothes away, going to bed in dirty clothes, like, I don't know how.
No.
I know there's no doubt multiple people that do that, and I know there's no doubt late teens plus males more so.
Well, he's only 22 males, so
yeah.
he's still a young one.
Yeah, that don't know how to aim for the toilet bowl properly. And you go, surely she's, by what it sounds like, she's probably had the discussion of like, can you just get to the right spot? Can you not go to bed in dirty clothes? And when you are getting changed, put it all in the basket. Don't leave the bathroom like a complete mess, just because I don't know why you need to. There is no reason to do that. So it seems to me like he's about 10 years old when it comes to that sort of stuff. And he may in every other way be an adult, but it seems to me when it comes to his hygiene, which is what she's complaining about, he's not an adult. He's still a kid.
I see this and it makes me wonder, how was he brought up? Was he taught these things?
He may have been, but he didn't take it in. Or
yes and no, but a lot of
his
people
mum,
that act like this may have been brought up in a messy household.
Maybe.
He may not have... Look, he may have had an unfortunate upbringing where the mother had a single mother or single father, and they're working all the time. They haven't been home enough to teach them.
Yeah.
It could be just him himself. And he may grow up. He's only 22.
Or he used to just do that stuff, and mum or dad or whatever the case
could
may
have
be.
been on his back, and
Not even on his back. They could have just sorted it out for him. They go, oh, he's
I
left
was about
something
to say,
here.
So
he was
babied him, so to speak. He could have been babied.
at a very older age, and he was babied. In which case, it's going to be a struggle for him. Even in another 5 years, it's still going to be a struggle for him because he's so used to just
having someone helping him.
Yeah, leaving stuff around, and as she said,
the pee drops and getting into bed with dirty clothes.
That I don't understand either way.
The spitting and that, all them
comes
are
down
things that he could have been babied over, but the other things, it makes you wonder.
It comes down to he needs to pretty much grow up and learn right from wrong when it comes to hygiene. And was there something about cleaning teeth? She's on
on his back to brush his teeth as well. Like, was he forced to brush his teeth? Like,
he could have been forced his whole life, and he still needs to be forced. But I mean, most kids, you keep forcing them, they're going to get over the force, and they're just going to learn to do it because they don't want mum and dad coming up and saying, "Clean your teeth, clean your teeth," because you get over that sort of stuff, and you learn that at a very young age that I don't want to be asked, so I'll just do it because I'm sick of being asked.
Well, possibly based on the comments, and before I get into the comments, I will read this. She has put an edit up.
Okay.
So I explained nicely about how his hygiene habits have been bothering me and that I want to live with him in the future and don't want to pick up after him. I'm a nurse. Okay, well, I get that.
There you go,
You know, you're picking up after everyone all the time as a nurse. You do a lot of stuff like, you know. Yeah. I'm a nurse. He's a teacher. Okay,
so she's a nurse, so she deals with it all day. He's a teacher. He
deals
with it all day.
Kids.
He deals with kids
well,
all day.
I don't know if he's with young kids.
Whether it's young ones or even older ones, you'd think he would be on their case about not doing certain stuff.
Anyway, I told him if he made enough money to support us both, then I wouldn't mind picking up after him. But since I'll be working too much of a workload, and then he must comment back to it. I see TikToks of girlfriends picking after their boyfriends. You're just lazy.
Well, that's
he
horrible.
commented that to her. So he's just going by social media and thinks that's the norm.
See, TikTok, I mean, with our daughter, our oldest, 16, some of the stuff they see on TikTok.
Oh, yeah, we've seen
Some
that.
stuff's funny, it's great, and it gets shared onto things like, I know I'm a little bit old school with Facebook and that, and you get a good laugh out of it or whatever, but stuff
we've seen
like
a lot
that,
of things our daughter thinks is the norm or
it's not the norm at all.
when she was, you know, she's starting to
Couple years ago,
understand it now,
yeah.
but
A couple of years ago, she thought that was how it was, and you go, no,
yeah,
it's not how it works at all.
no. All right, well, let's get to some comments. Okay, so the first one, not the arsehole, but someone is in a happy relationship who is in love seldom uses the word detest. Nevertheless, I agree that these habits are abhorrent and he needs to get his together. For the record, no, not all men are like this. You need to have a serious conversation with him and break it down because apparently he needs a second mother, or if that's not what you're signed up for, because it isn't, this is a perfectly justifiable reason to leave someone.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to be with someone that's doing that sort of stuff. I'd be like, both, well, most adults went through that stuff as kids. Their parents, and you can hope you got parents plural, but a parent has tried to teach you all that sort of stuff, what's right and what's wrong. And therefore, when you become an adult, you know it yourself. But he seems to just be in his own little world that he can get away with it, and she does not need to deal with that with him, because if they decide to have kids, she's going to have him and then the kids. So she's going to have an extra kid with her.
Well, that's
the first kid's going to make 2 kids.
Yeah. Well, look, we both work. Well, at the moment, I'm on maternity leave, but
we've got kids.
We've got kids. We both help each other. Our kids have got their little jobs, you know, for their age, it's how it works.
They've got little jobs. They do a little bit here and a little bit there, and they're happy with it, and they get a little reward out of it. So, in the long run, it helps them understand what...
And it helps the smooth running of a house. If they want to live together, well, someone else put, not the arsehole, not all men are like that. Are you serious? No. This is someone you want to live with.
No, she's not the arsehole.
No.
He's... Well, it's hard to put because he's not necessarily an arsehole. He just needs to grow up. So, yes, as we look at it, you go, he's just an arsehole, but... he needs to grow up.
Well, that's it.
And that's more or less what it is. He needs to grow up, and then we'll be right after that.
Another comment. Not the arsehole, no. Not all men are like that. A lot of them maybe have some of these habits, but most don't have all of those.
No.
And need to hear from you that they need to change them. That's not biologically inherent in malehood, though. Sometimes they've just raised with low expectations or have childhood trauma, ADHD, etc. Sometimes women are the messy ones in the relationship, to be fair.
True.
But honestly, if you can't live like that, then don't. Don't share a living quarters or get married. If and until he vastly improves the hygiene habits you expect, you can be civil, telling him how you feel. Suggest an app or a visible reminders to help him stay on top of things. If he's willing to work with you, you don't throw in the towel just yet. If he's a great partner otherwise, or walk away if he won't. If he isn't getting better at anything and you constantly have to remind him, guess what happens when you get busy with a job or have a child? You still need to remind him and pick up after him, except you can't as much and the workload starts to pile up. After a while, the resentment will grow greater than the fondness you have for him otherwise, and you'll both be unhappy. Yep.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
Like I said, part of that was, you know, if you end up with a kid, you're going to sort of have, they basically said, you're going to end up with 2 kids, and that's what I said. You're going to have a newborn, and even when that newborn turns to 2 or 3 years old, if he's still doing that, you're going to end up with 2 little kids.
Well, that's it.
Just one's of legal age to do whatever it is.
Yeah.
It becomes a big problem. And you know what? Maybe if she did say, look, leave post-it notes around and say, hey, can you do this?
But should you
Can you
have
do-
to?
No, you shouldn't have to, but if you talk first and say, look, I'll give you some help, I'll leave post-it notes or whatever, or make up some little job lists or little helping lists more so than jobs.
Again, that
And
would
that
probably
is-
get quite frustrating too,
Yeah,
eventually.
but you have to make them up once and just say,
Should only have to do it for so long.
yeah, and say, this is what you got to do when you get changed. Make sure it's all in the basket. When you go to bed, don't wear dirty clothes. For Christ's sake, just put some clean ones
And
on.
if you're going to do that, you can sleep in your own bed.
Well, that's another thing, but we won't go there because we know people that do that. So you got to, she either needs to try and figure that out within a short period of time, or she needs to say she does need to turn into a towel. And it's hard. I don't know how old this post is, but
I think it's pretty new. There's literally there's only 9 comments. It's only 12 hours old, so the
So it's
last
not very
comment
old.
I'll read is not the arsehole, but you need to be honest with yourself. If this is what you want to deal with for the rest of your life, because he will not change. He may get better for a little while, but will always go back. I realised a couple of months before my wedding what a slob my fiance was, but I fooled myself into believing I could deal with it. I regret going ahead with that wedding often. It only got worse as the years went on, and he felt he could stop trying. And that does happen.
they try for a little while, and then all of a sudden you get married or whatever, or you move in, depending on the circumstances. You move in, and everything's good. It's great. We've got such a happy life. And then it slowly reverts back to where it started.
So I think
she needs to probably have a good think of that comment, because it was probably the best one in some ways.
have a good talk to him. See
go
if
from
he's
there.
willing to change. I wouldn't move in anytime soon. I'd give it longer and
I'd-
see if he does change, because
I'd talk to him about his own place.
it's obviously been going on,
I'd talk to him about his own place and say, mate, until you pick this place up, we're not moving in. And if he never picks it up, then you say, well, it's
Goodbye.
unfortunate, because,
She said he's
breaking
good
up-
in every other way.
Yeah.
He's caring and loving.
and that's fine, but
It's
and
not always enough. As much as
breaking
you
up,
want it to be.
how long were they together?
They've been together 2 years.
So
For almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years. Breaking up with someone after 2 years
It's
is
hard.
not going to be easy, but
But this is obviously built up on her over time. Like,
it's got to the point where she's gone to Reddit to
he leaves food to
ask.
rot in his room. Like, come
That's-
on.
food right in your room. That's something you expect a 1-year-old to do. They
Yeah.
find something. And
We've
we know.
seen that, yes.
we
We've
know
had
this sort of
to-
stuff. When it comes to this, we read something like this, we can
It's
immediately
like, that
think about
seems
kids.
like our kids at times.
Yeah,
But
and you go, for Christ's sake. And he's however old he was, and you just
he's
go,
only, like I said, he's
what's-
only 22. He's still young, and he may change. He might realise.
he might change, but he might be 35 by the
Yeah.
time he does change.
Yep.
Because
Some
he may
people
have
never
had-
change.
If they break up and he's had multiple other girlfriends or whatever, and it's always breaking up for the same reason, he may very well pick up that he needs to change himself. It's
Yeah.
not the women in his relationships, it's him.
There's a few disgusting habits.
Oh yeah, there's
Yeah.
definitely a few in that.
Yeah, okay, some people might just be a bit of a slob by leaving clothes outside the basket.
Oh, that's one
All
thing.
this and that, but when you
But-
have all this stuff, nah.
But wet bathrooms, going to sleep in. I couldn't imagine coming home from work
If
and
he-
going to bed directly
no.
in my clothes, because
No.
it's just disgusting.
Well, if he doesn't change, I'd leave his ass.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and I'd be the same. I'd be
Anyway.
like, "No, see you later. I'm going. I'm packing my stuff."
Yeah.
And I know they live in 2 different places. She's
Yeah,
still
at the
like
moment, that's
So,
why she said.
that. If I was her, I'd go there and talk
They
to him.
say
If he's
that-
not going to
yeah.
change, I'd grab my stuff and I'd walk out the door. That's
Yeah.
it. And
Yeah.
it's. I feel sorry for her because he's hard after almost 2
It
years.
is, but
But you sort of say, well, is
especially
Other-
when he
there's other
is
people-
loving and caring and giving and everything else, it's just,
POF, mate. Plenty of fish in the sea.
yeah.
Um,
We should know that. That's where we met.
Yeah, well,
so.
that's true. We did meet there. And you sort of say, well, there is supposedly plenty of fish in the sea.
That's it, and yeah. Anyway, I don't know if there's much more to come from.
Not
this
really.
one,
It's
so,
she
yeah.
was that the asshole?
No. Everyone was like, she's not the
No,
arsehole.
was that am I the asshole?
It was an am I the arsehole relationships. So no.
She's not
It
the
hasn't
arsehole. She's
been. Look, it hasn't officially been deemed whether she is or not, but
done
all
by
the
the
comments.
she's not going to be the arsehole.
Yeah.
So it comes
Alright.
down to
I don't think we're
she
gonna. Yeah.
she wanted some help and unbiased people,
All right.
and you just sort of go, well, hopefully she's got a little bit of information to help her through this
Decide
little
what's
rough
best to do.
stage.
Yeah.
Talk to him, and if he's not
go
going
from
to
there.
change, go from there. She's going to have a rough
He might
few
just
months,
watch it.
maybe.
He might just watch another TikTok and decide. I can't believe it.
decide what's best next.
Well, he watches TikToks to see girlfriends picking up after the boyfriends and believes she's lazy because she doesn't like. Yeah, just
the
watch
thing-
a few more TikToks.
This is where I don't like saying it too much, but this is where things like TikTok and that go wrong. Is a lot of those videos are made for comedy or just
Yeah, that's
for
it.
shits and giggles, whereas
Yeah.
you get people like him, I'm guessing, that think that's how it really works, and you go, no, it's not.
Anyway.
That's not how the real world works, mate. You've got to do your own thing. So
Yeah.
anyway,
All right. Let's get on to the next one.
yeah.
All right. So for our last one, it's another "Am I the Asshole?" Reddit story. It's a bit of a doozy. So
am I the arsehole? Of course it is.
So, am I the asshole for getting upset because my husband wants a hall pass?
Probably.
So this one was actually 5 days ago, so a bit longer ago, but yeah. All right, to start off, I'm 8 weeks pregnant, and the doctor advises we not have intercourse until after 13 weeks. Prior to this, I had 2 miscarriages last year, and we finally have our rainbow baby. As excited as we both are, my husband decided to ask me for a hall pass to have intercourse with another woman since we cannot. He believes it is just sex, nothing more. Me rolls eyes. He said he loves me and only me, and that's he wants to spend his life with me and our children, but he has needs. I, of course, are extremely upset and refused. I told him we could get a divorce and he could be with as many women as he wants. In case anyone wants to know, no, he's not cheating. We are together literally all the time. So please tell me, am I the arsehole? Am I in the right here?
First of all, personally, she's not the arsehole.
No.
He doesn't need a hall pass. That's a very young person's thing to mention. I want a hall pass.
He states that he loves her and only wants to be with her. So why the hell would he ask a question like that?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. He doesn't need a hall pass. He just needs to be patient.
We've just similarly come out of a very similar situation. We've got a little 2-week-old.
Yeah.
I had what's called placenta previa.
We couldn't do anything.
Prior to that, from 28 weeks onwards, I was told that we could not do anything because it could jeopardise.
And it was meant to be even earlier.
And it was meant to be earlier, but the doctors kind of didn't advise me, and I'd never had anything like this before, and we had to wait, and we still have to wait because I had a C-section, so there's another 6 weeks on top of that, and you have never ever even thought of asking me something like that, and you know what I'd say.
That's where I went wrong.
Wow, why the hell did you not think of
I should have asked you for a hall pass.
it? Never thought of that.
Oh, God.
But
I
now, I don't get it. Like, I would be the same. I'd be asking you for a divorce there and then. If you were thinking of being with another woman, you can't state that you love her and only want to be with her if you're thinking of being with other women.
It doesn't matter
Like,
what
that
the reason
really-
even if it is just for sex. You can't go, no, I only want to be with her just for some sex.
Nah,
Well,
nah.
obviously there's
nah.
something that's attracting you to her. It doesn't matter whether it's looks or anything else.
Oh, wow. This is,
I
This is kind of,
I don't understand
bloody,
that.
it's not her fault. They wanted kids together, so it's
Yeah.
both of them, not just her. It's not just her responsibility. They're doing this for the safety of her and the child, obviously. She's
okay.
had 2 miscarriages, so this was probably to try to lower the risk of her possibly losing another baby.
The only thing I can think of, and I'm not trying to defend him because the asking for hall pass is stupid, is now that she's pregnant and probably pregnant long enough past the other two that she's had a miscarriage with. Which
It was only last year, I think.
yeah, which is
Last
unfortunate.
year, yeah.
A miscarriage
It
is very
I've been
unfortunate.
through one. It's not nice.
Yeah, you sort of go. He may very well be thinking he wanted to get away from the relationship. He got her pregnant. She's happy because she's going to get a kid.
He's finally,
now he's
he's
thinking-
scared.
No, it's not so much he's scared. Now he's thinking, good, I can leave her. She's got the kid that she always wanted. And he may very well know someone that's more than happy that once she got pregnant and it was going to, well, hopefully, last, to get with him.
I don't think that's the case for her. He still wants to be with her, but
I'm
he's got
not saying-
some warped ways of thinking.
But that's what
Like,
she's
he
saying.
wanted the kid as well. They've obviously been trying for a while
But
to
did he-
have 2 miscarriages. Yes, but why would you keep trying if you didn't want a kid?
He may just be trying very well to keep her happy in that respect because she's had such a hard time when it comes to getting pregnant. So he's tried to keep her happy. Now that she is at that point with the happiness, he's going, good.
Well,
I
he
want a
does
hall
state
pass.
that he only wants her, but yeah. All right,
Exactly.
well...
That's what I'm saying is now that he's got, she's got what she wanted. He may very well be
I reckon they
saying
both wanted it, but...
he may be telling her that's what I wanted and so on and so forth.
Telling
But
her
in the
what she
long
wanted
run-
to hear, but...
After the first, they lost the first one. He may very
He
well
might be going
thinking.
through a bit of depression. He could
Exactly.
be scared. What if
Oh.
this one we lose? I don't
There's
know.
so many things in this particular post. You could go. I don't know where it starts and ends. Really,
All right, well, we'll read some comments.
it's all about. It's basically the hall pass, and you go, mate. You can't
Yeah,
ask for that. It
nah.
just doesn't
If
work.
you love someone, no. Unless you're in an open relationship. Now, that's a
That's
bit
a-
different.
That's a completely different story.
But
'Cause you
obviously,
both-
they've
you
never
agree with
spoke
that.
about that.
No, because if you're in an open relationship, you either start with that, or once you get into a
Yeah.
relationship, you both sit down and talk about it. And if you agree on it, well, then there it is. But this
Alright.
wasn't agreed on at the start.
Well, let's get into some comments, shall we? All right, so listen to your gut. He may already have someone in mind. And then someone's like, that's if he hasn't already done it.
Yeah.
And to that comment, if he... I'll just read this comment.
Sorry.
If he hasn't been working on it, if he hasn't, he's working on it. OP says that they're together all the time, so she's sure he hasn't cheated, which gives some comfort, but that also means he hasn't had the chance to cheat. So odds are high he'll make an attempt when given the opportunity.
Yeah.
So even if she says no, he could still do it behind her back. That's the thing. He's probably thinking it looks good by him asking, but he's probably
Yeah.
already thinking of doing it behind her back.
That's a high possibility in a lot of cases, especially on Reddit. And for you know, I mean, you don't know where he works or anything, but he could very well work with her.
He could have.
And
already
she
someone
could be
in mind,
egging
yeah.
him on, and he's just like, give me some time to let my wife know this is what I want to do. She doesn't want to do it. We'll still do it anyway, and I'll just have to make up some stupid stories about work being crazy, and I've heard those stories before about work being crazy, and I'm staying behind late at work because of this, that, and the other thing.
In
When it's
reality,
really,
yeah.
I'm going to my side piece's place because of stupid reasons, because they want to cheat, and I'll never understand cheating.
No,
But-
because they're as bad as each other, especially if the one that he's cheating with knows that he's got a girlfriend. They're as bad as each other.
yeah,
Like, well, some comments backing onto the ones I just read. This was my thought also. Like, is it really that easy to go out and get someone, in brackets? Probably not. Or is there likely someone already of interest? And someone goes, 100%, it's a co-worker. Or someone
There you
that's
go.
been a person of interest. Maybe even has expressed interest in him. And he figured this is his chance. And someone's like, exactly, no one asks for a pass when they don't already have a haul in
Yeah.
mind.
that's exactly right. He's got someone in mind, and she's willing.
Already. And he just
And
thinks,
the other woman is probably like, I don't care that you're married.
Yeah.
She's one of those people, and it doesn't matter what
Yeah.
sex you are. There's people out there that just, I don't care. I'll get with.
Yeah.
I don't understand. There's people that will go, oh, single people. You're in a relationship or you're married. No, I will not do anything.
Yeah. But
But
there's
then
other
there's people out there that just don't care.
Yeah.
So he's probably found someone at work or whatever, who just doesn't care.
Yeah. Or
So
doesn't
he-
know.
Or doesn't know, but most likely doesn't care.
Mm.
So he's asking permission from his wife, and it's just wrong.
Yeah.
Mate, if
Yeah.
you don't want to be with her, just for Christ's sake, let her know, and also inform her that you'll help with the kid.
Yeah.
And the only downside of that is the stress and everything on her could also cause problems with the pregnancy.
Yeah. All right.
Otherwise, that's a very big problem in so many different ways. It's a problem.
All right.
And he honestly just needs to grow the hell up.
All right.
In the
Yeah,
line,
pretty
he
much.
still needs to grow up. It's
Yeah.
like the last story. Needs to grow the hell up.
All right. So another comment. As a father of 3, I'll say that a successful family life requires teamwork.
Yep.
If he isn't willing to put off sex for a while because of his needs, he also isn't going to be changing diapers, helping around the house, etc. How is he going to help with you through the hard nights if that means he is losing more of his needs, like sleep? You will end up doing everything and be tired and then hear the blaming of your bad attitude. Red flag that he is blaming you instead of just toughing it out. Serious red flag that he wants to bang someone other than you.
Yeah. That whoever did that is made a few good red flags in that because he's... I don't know what the right term is, but, you know, hall pass and... He's straight out willing to be with somebody else and not care about her. And like the person said, what happens in the middle of the night when Bub wants a bum change and a bottle or whatever? What's he going to do then if she's completely out of it? Because all day, all she's done is look after baby, look after baby, look after baby. And we have both done that. And you get to the point where you go, oh my God, I'm completely buggered. You know, can you take over for a few hours just so I can relax? And I did that for you.
I was going to say, with our first child together.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a 7-year-old.
First night home.
First night home, you were up all night, and
I
the next
was
day
so
was your
upset.
next day was your birthday.
And I slept it all.
I told you to sleep it all because I'll look after all the 2 kids at the time. Because, well, you'd been up most of the night. Because I'd been up for so long anyway, I needed to sleep that night. So we sort of did a shift change.
Yeah, well, that was the same as with my first, so your stepdaughter. When she first came out of hospital, I was single.
Yep.
And I was living at my parents'. I had a horrible night. I was still up at 7:30. She was throwing up. It was just the worst night home. And my mum took over and helped me out. And that's what you need. And then, obviously, it was 6 years. So it was a massive gap. So it was like all new to me, yet in a weird way.
Yeah.
And new, obviously, to you being a first-time dad, you weren't around for the first 6 years of... they were 8 years apart.
Nearly 7 years.
Yeah. So, you know, you need that help, and that's where
sounds like he doesn't want to do the hard yards.
That's where postpartum depression and whatnot comes from. You don't get the help.
Either he doesn't
crumble.
Either he honestly was only trying to keep her happy by saying we'll have a baby.
Or he does want a baby, but he really truly
Doesn't
believes
wanna
he
do the hard
deserves
work.
his hall pass.
He doesn't want to do the work, or he thinks that he should be able to go out and find someone, or he already has someone, like someone mentioned, and he can get some action on the side. But the problem is, if he starts, say he did start doing that because she said okay.
Yeah.
What's going to happen when the baby's born? The baby's going to end up with 2 bloody mothers. He's probably going to keep that going and say, well, you gave me a hall pass. Yeah, for one time only.
Yeah, well...
So if she's got any brains, she would definitely say no. You got 2 options.
Problem is, I think he'll still do it behind her back. This is just him trying to look good.
There's no doubt he'll probably try and...
He'll
He'll probably end up doing it, but I really hope that he doesn't. and it comes down to the point where she's like,
I really hope he was just mucking around to see what she says, because that would be better than what he's really thinking.
oh yeah, and I'm glad actually that tonight we haven't found one of those Reddit stories that when you're reading you start thinking, is this made up? Because I've read a few stories and you start thinking, this is, you go, it's almost scripted.
Yeah.
Like someone's written a story out and made it work. But this one, you just go, no, I think he's already got someone on the side. And if they aren't doing anything yet, he's asked. She said no. But yet he's, like one of the comments was, he's probably still going to do it anyway.
Well, here's another comment I was just reading. She should either ask for counselling or prepare to leave. This guy can't survive 2 months without sex. What's he going to do when she's postpartum? She probably won't be able to have sex for months, and I don't have faith in his self-control. Seeing how he is, he's going to grow resentful of her, might cheat even.
Yep, that's exactly right. So it'll go from being a one-off or whatever with whoever he goes to from work or whatever, to full-on cheating.
Not the arsehole. Tell him God gave you a right hand for more than picking your nose. Give him and then someone commented to that, give him a box of tissues as well. I reckon he'll find he gets a lot less sex when he's single than waiting for 5 weeks until medically cleared. Postpartum, even though people are generally cleared at 6 weeks, it can take months for your body to heal properly.
Yeah.
He's showing you the person who he is, and you should really listen. Edit for spelling. And then if you give in this time, there will be a next time, like postpartum. It's only sex, but the douche can't wait 5 weeks. Not the arsehole. What a dingbat. This, and then someone's like, this gives me the POS his. This gives the OP his hall pass. Attach it to the divorce papers.
Yeah.
So
and it, you know.
Yeah.
You've got a hand. If you're, and I don't get it, because
well,
I honestly think it's straight out. He's got someone in mind, and she's obviously got a thing for him. So he's asking for the hall pass so he can be with her and see what it's like. Something different, a new spot, a new challenge, if you like. There's multiple words I could use, but I won't. And you sort of go, I think that's what he wants. It's not the hall pass. It's what he wants as a challenge, a change, almost.
Well, this is, and we know this. This comment, well, not fully, but some of it. He's going to be a dad. There will be a million things getting in the way of sex.
Yep.
I didn't have a sex drive all through my pregnancy. After delivery, I did, but the scar and the weird position my uterus was in for the first 10 months or so made penetration impossible. We did have lots of fun though. My husband isn't so hung up on specific types of sex. And then for the years afterwards, your kids will disturb you. In brackets, there will be a day in the future when my kid realises the day she walked in on us 8 times in the bathroom in a bubble bath with candle lights and soft music going. We were not there to get clean. And then, or you will be too tired. All of that is no reason to cheat, but is a reason to get a babysitter.
Yeah. No, that's exactly right. It's, once you have one kid, and like when we got together, she was coming up. She was nearly 7.
It was an instant family.
It was an instant family straight away. Yep. So it came down to timing, really. And the more kids you got,
the only difference is at the start of our relationship, she was in school.
Yeah, the clock becomes the time comes so narrow.
Yep, the more kids.
You sort of have to time it. There is no the spontaneous thing sort of gets thrown out the window.
Until they're all in school again.
Yeah, once they're all in school, it's good. But spontaneous
spontaneity.
Spontaneity is the word. Thank you. It sort of gets thrown out the window a bit because it's like they're all in bed now,
and then
it's as simple as that. Yeah, you get the knock on the door and you go, well, there goes that. And all the
and
attraction,
then you lose that.
the drive.
the drive goes for the night.
It's all gone. Like, it is well and truly gone.
So I go,
So
okay,
that's the
let's
end of
try
that.
again tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow night. Well,
Yeah.
tomorrow night doesn't happen because one of them's up and about, sooking about something. They can't sleep. So it might take another week for it to
And we're all
happen.
silly, and we've got 5 kids, so that's 5 times the problem, isn't it? Well, one's only 2 weeks old. She can't do too much.
She can't do too much with the other 4.
Anyway, guys,
I think people like this.
he's the arsehole.
He's the
She
arsehole.
needs to consider what she's doing, but I think we had some good Reddits tonight. What do you think?
What was your favourite?
This one probably would have been, we can kind of relate to it. We never would have done something like that on me, not being able to, this probably, like, I'm really at her myself. That's wrong. So this probably would have been my favourite one. I don't know. What was yours?
I think this one's definitely high up there. I'm just trying to think of them all because by the time we finish reading them, I forget the one before it was.
The restaurant one, that wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
But yeah, anyway.
I think this one probably hits a little bit closer to home, I suppose, so it's a little bit hard. If I was single, I suppose it wouldn't hit me so hard. And knowing people that have problems having kids or things like that, you sort of go, obviously if they've had problems having kids, and as soon as she's pregnant and sort of keeping the baby, he's gone, I want a hall pass. We go, you are an asshole. It's as simple as
Anyway,
that.
guys,
What would have happened with baby number 1 and she was pregnant and she was 10 months in? Was he going to want a hall pass then? So, yeah, it's...
I think we might leave it at that for tonight.
Yeah, I think he's an asshole, and I think that's probably the story that sticks out to me.
All right, guys, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next episode. If you have any comments relating to any of the Reddits we read tonight, make sure to comment below and we'll make sure to reply.
And if you've got any ideas of Reddit stories, please...
that you'd like us to cover,
always let us know.
We're always happy to have comments. So, again, make sure you like and subscribe so you can see our all our new content that comes up. And like we said, we're going to have some more fun and laughter in the future. So, make sure to keep watching this space. And we will...
We're hoping to have some games up with the older kids.
Yeah, so
hopefully get some
other people. So we will see you.
Friends, family. Yeah, hopefully we get some stuff up,
and hopefully we can give you some laughs. So we'll see you in our next episode.
Take it easy.
Take it easy.